Manchester United's pre-season is underway and the pre-season games are about to kick off, and it comes loaded with anticipation, with intrigue, and after a disastrous 24-25 campaign, we're absolutely desperate for any small signs of revival. We've got a friendly in Stockholm this weekend, and then the subsequent US tour with stops in New Jersey, New York, Chicago and Atlanta. Then we've got a game at Old Trafford. So in this video, across those 5 games, I want to explore 3 major narrative questions that will define this 2025 pre-season tour. From the manager's impact, to the players that are going to be fighting for a place, to the possibility of a breakout star. I'm going to dive into the storylines that I think everyone is going to be talking about and that we need answers for. I am going to be lucky enough to attend those 3 games that are in the US in person. I'm going to be vlogging them. I'm going to be making content in and around those. So if you want an inside view, then make sure to subscribe. Otherwise, if you want some behind the scenes from all of the things that we're getting up to while we're in America, then check out my Patreon. And if you want to get involved in the inner circle, that's well, there's just basically a load of men and women. There's no kids in there. Men and women that are supporting each other's sort of fitness journey. I've had a lot of people ask me if I'll write fitness plans for them. No is the answer, but what I will do is share and support what I'm doing and support you guys in what you guys are doing as well. So if you want to get involved in any of that, you want to see what my diet is, you want to see what my training program is, link in the description, Patreon, and for the price of, I would say a pint, but it's probably about a half pint at the moment with the price of pints. So for a half pint a month, then you can support the channel and you get some extra content as well. And the podcast, the Stephen Howson podcast, starts next week, and there's loads of behind the scenes coming from that as well. You can meet our new producer Amy. After every single podcast that we do, me and Amy sit down and do a hot debrief. It's the full, uncensored, unedited debrief where we talk about things that went right in the podcast, things that went wrong, how we're going to title it, all that sort of stuff. So if you want to get the behind the scenes on the production, again, Patreon supports the channel, and if you want to get in the mix, check that out. Anyway, back to what we're talking about. 3 big questions for United's pre-season tour. Number 1, can Amorim turn United's fortunes around? Now, we hit rock bottom, the rockiest of the bottoms that I've seen since I've been a match-going fan, which is 35 years. Yes, I'm that old, right? 42 this year. Oh. But a 15th place finish, the club's worst in 50 years, heartbreaking a European final, losing to Spurs of all teams, all eyes on the new gaffer, as well as the ownership structure. You got to turn this around, pal. You know, highly rated coach, brought in mid-season to stop the rot, potentially accelerated a little bit of the rot, found more rot, is in the process of dealing with that rot. But it was a rough initiation for him and for us. He's had a full pre-season, or he will have a full pre-season, full summer ahead of him. The big question is, can this guy turn it around and spark a bit of life into the dead giant that Manchester United are? So this is the first real opportunity for him to do that. It seems like the players have returned back to pre-season looking quite lean. It's a real good opportunity for him to impart his philosophy on the squad. And as will next season, with us only having 1 game a week, I do expect like rapid development in terms of our adherence to and understanding of his 3-4-2-1, 3-4-3 system. It's a bold approach. He's got a bit of a bold approach to youth development. There's fresh vision, hopefully. It seems like there's a desire from the club to back him, but we need to see him backed as well. He's got Mateus Cunha. That's a great signing. But where's the next 1 or 2 or 3? At time of recording, Bryan Mbeumo has been strongly linked. It feels like if United and Brentford can agree a fee, he will be the next in the mix. You know, you've even got a narrative going on with Bruno Fernandes and United's rejection of Al Hilal coming in for him for 100 million. You know, could we rue that at some point in the season? There's obviously a newfound determination to try and fix all of this stuff. And then we've got the pre-season, the actual games themselves. I wouldn't read too much into the results of these, but I absolutely would be looking into the performance of these and the performance of people in relative to other people on the pitch. Got an opener against Leeds in Stockholm. You know, I would want to see signs of a refreshed playing style. I want to see renewed intensity. I want to see United surprise us a little bit. I want to see us come out of the gates and look like we know what we're doing, look like we're able to take the fight to other teams. That's not really been there. Last few seasons on pre-season, and I don't know if it's because maybe the first team are working harder or they've had less rest than some of the youngsters, or I don't actually know what the reasons behind it all are, but I know from having been on these pre-season tours, the players that have let us down the most are our senior players. They've looked sluggish. They've not looked at it. It's the youngsters that have looked good on these pre-season games. Now, these matches have got a tendency to feel like summer exhibitions. I'm not expecting Casemiro to treat Leeds in Stockholm as the most important football match in his life. But you want to be able to see something, don't you? You want to be able to see if the squad is adapting to his methods, especially against Premier League opposition, which we've exclusively got, in America or in Stockholm. Obviously, we've got Fiorentina prior to the league campaign starting. But you want to be able to see that. You want to see that they're responding to the gaffer. And by the time we do play at Old Trafford in August, we should have had a real clear look that we've started to turn this ship around. The emotional stakes are high. Pre-season's not necessarily just about results. It's not even about results, but there should be evidence of turning it round. Yes, it's about fitness. It's not really about, win this game at all costs. It's about getting fitness into the legs, but it's also about getting people ready to play with each other. And that's what we need to do. So I'm hopeful, but that's one big question that we need to answer on this tour.
Let me tell you a little bit of something that I've learned in my experience working in construction. It can be an absolute headache. You're trying to juggle invoices, you're trying to juggle deliveries, you're trying to juggle manpower, and it can all get a little bit too much. Let me introduce you to Priceworks. It's a little bit of kit that's going to sort out everything for you. And I wish I had this when I was on site. Whether you're pricing up jobs, sending invoices, or you're sorting the materials out, Priceworks has got your back. Trust me, no more messing about, just cracking on with the work. Let the software take care of all the paperwork. And it's bang on for all trades. Whether it's plumbers, roofers, scaffolders, landscapers, Priceworks keeps everyone top of their game. And here's the best bit, you can directly support my channel and help your business run smoother on site by going checking out Priceworks. Let Priceworks give you a hand. Sign up at the link in the description, and trust me, you're gonna wonder how you ever managed without it. Priceworks, build your business better at priceworks.co.uk.
Number 2, who will step up and fill the gaps? And the manager alone can't revive United. Some of the players on the pitch are going to have to step up and answer and say, do you know what? I'll do it. You've got players that have departed, Lindelof, Eriksson, Johnny Evans, and then a handful of others that are rumoured to be departed. Obviously, your Sancho, your Rashford, your Anthony, your Garnacho, like all of those guys trying to get rid of them. All departing or departed this summer. When the squad heads to the US tour, there's going to be a lot of youngsters and there's going to be a lot of fringe players. People that are going to have no expectation placed upon them and probably no indication that they're going to be part of the first team going into next season. But if we're going to be successful, we have to draw a line under the players that are leaving or have left and players that are going to be sticking around and taking us forward. Who's going to fill that void? Yes, you would expect Mateus Cunha is going to be someone that's going to come in and not just fill a gap, but maybe emerge as a star, and that's one of the next points. But who have we got in terms of youngsters? Who are the ones that we've got that are going to step up? Can Joshua Zirkzee come in and look better than he looked last season? Can Rasmus Højlund, after such a poor season last year, come into pre-season with a point to prove and actually show us that he's capable of leading the line and not just doing jiu-jitsu with centre-halves at every opportunity? Can Kobbie Mainoo, who looks lean in what we've seen of him, come in and show us he's got the legs and the energy to be able to play in that number 6 role for us in the new season? Like, who is it that's going to step up? Can Mason Mount get through it injury-free and actually play a part in next season? Which players, and before you even start talking about some of the youngsters, whether it's an Ibrahimov or a Chido or someone like that, Lissandro Martinez is back fit. One of the most important players, arguably our best centre-half on paper, will miss all of pre-season, should be back around about the start of the new campaign. Can he make sure he's ready by the time that happens? Will you see De Ligt or Harry Maguire or Lenny Yoro get through it? Aiden Heaven, where's the players that are going to step up and change what we thought of them? You know, can Luke Shaw come in and smash it? Can, you know, there's so many players who underperformed last season. Onana. So many players that underperformed last season. Can one of them change the narrative around them coming into this? And then sort of linked to this, but will a new star emerge? Like a real star? We've seen this in the past. Players that have stepped up on pre-season and then just been given opportunities because they came in, there was an injury to the first choice player, and they've been given an opportunity and grabbed it with both hands. Disappointingly, our last few pre-seasons, there's been good performances from youngsters and they've not really been given opportunities in the first team. But there's young players in the fringes of this team. Chido, Harry Amas, Tyler Fredrickson, even Toby Collier, who's 21 now, all made appearances, all shown flashes of potential. Can one of them come into this acting like a first team player and come out of it as a star? And I'm not just talking about those, you know, yes, you've got Mateus Cunha, big money signing coming from Wolves. Would you expect him to emerge as a star? You kind of would, but I'm almost looking for the more unpredictable ones. You know, Sekou Kone, we got a bit of a glimpse of him in the post-season friendly, and I thought he looked real good. He turned heads, delivered a performance that had coaches and fans excited. Could he be the next big academy breakthrough? There are high hopes that he could come in and do similar thing to what Mainu did a couple of years ago. As those friendlies roll on, watch him closely. Watch when the substitutions start. Watch how many minutes he's getting. If he starts to be given 60 minutes rather than 45 or 30, maybe that's the sort of player that they're thinking is going to go and do some bits. You know, emotionally, the segment of the tour that gives you the excitement and the optimism is seeing these youngsters, but it's also the signings. We often get transfers in the middle of all of these games on tour. We often get players announced while it's going on tour. And the fact that at the time of recording, we still haven't had the here we go on Mbeumo. I hope it doesn't happen over there. I hope he actually travels out there with us. I hope it's done prior to him going out. But I would expect sales while we're away. There's got to be. Otherwise, before you know it, you're back and you're into August. You know, and if there's sales, I hope there's signings. It has to be double-edged like that. It has to be. There's no two ways around it. And as this 25-26 campaign draws closer and the pre-season starts to draw to a close, the players have to get ready for it. They have to be in a position where they're ready to start the new season. So I know they've been in training now a week. I want to start strong with pre-season and answer some of these questions. Can we see Amorim turn it around in pre-season? Can we see they're starting to get what he's about? Can we see one of them youngsters, whether it's a Fredrickson or an Amas or whoever, come in and make people go, do you know what? Or a Fletcher maybe. Yeah, he's got a bit of something. Let's see him in the first team. And then can a new star emerge? Can Cunha take the transfer fee and the expectation and run with it and become a star? Because we probably need it, don't we? Anyway, that's my 3 questions. Feel free to answer them. Let me know your thoughts. And like I said, make sure to subscribe if you want to see all of the stuff on tour, all the vlogs and all that sort of thing. And if you want some behind the scenes or you're on your own little fitness journey and you want either a little bit of support or you want to see what I was doing properly on mine, then click the link in the description for Patreon. All that stuff is going on there on the inner circle. Otherwise, thanks for your time. Make sure to subscribe. See you in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.